Have you ever noticed how the more you give people, the less they seem to respect you, and the more drained you feel inside? And what if I told you that some of the most powerful lessons for protecting your peace were written nearly 2,000 years ago by a Roman emperor who had everything, yet still chose discipline, silence, and restraint over emotional chaos? Before we go deeper, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and most importantly, watch this video till the end, because this isn't just about stoicism. This could completely change how you handle relationships, boundaries, and even your love life moving forward. Because once you understand these principles inspired by Marcus Aurelius and the Stoic mindset, you stop living reactively and start living with control, clarity, and quiet power. Now let's get into it. There's a hidden truth most people never realize. The more accessible you make certain parts of your life, your time, your emotions, your secrets, your attention, the less value they hold in the eyes of others. Marcus Aurelius understood something most people still don't. Not everything you have inside you is meant to be given away freely. And that's exactly why today we're talking about 5 things you should never give people, even if they ask. Not because you are selfish, but because you are learning self-respect. There. First thing you should never give people is your emotional control. Think about this. How many times have you felt completely fine until someone said something slightly disrespectful, or ignored you, or didn't reply the way you expected? And suddenly, your entire mood collapses. That's not them controlling you. That's you handing them the remote control to your mind. Stoicism teaches something brutally honest. If someone can change your emotions at will, you are not free, you are dependent. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that external events do not disturb the mind, only our judgment of them does. So when someone provokes you, delays you, or misunderstands you, the real battle is not outside, it is inside. Never give people the power to decide your emotional state, not your partner, not your friends, not strangers. Not even your past. Because the moment you do, you stop being the author of your life and become a reaction to someone else's behavior. The second thing you should never give people is your personal boundaries without reason. There is a dangerous pattern many people fall into. They say yes when they want to say no. They over-explain, they justify. They sacrifice their comfort just to avoid being seen as rude. But here's the truth. Stoicism reveals, every unnecessary yes is a quiet betrayal of yourself. Marcus Aurelius didn't live to please everyone, he lived to act rightly. And there's a massive difference. If someone asks for your time, your energy, or your help, pause before you respond. Ask yourself, does this align with my peace, my goals, or my values? If the answer is no, then no is a complete sentence. You don't owe people access to you just because they asked. Because the more you give away your boundaries without thought, the more people unconsciously start testing how far they can go. And before you know it, you're living a life shaped by other people's expectations instead of your own direction. The third thing you should never give people is your private life as entertainment. Not everyone deserves full access to your story. There is a big difference between connection and exposure. Many people overshare thinking it builds closeness. But in reality, it often creates misunderstanding, judgment, and misplaced opinions. Marcus Aurelius believed in discipline of speech, saying only what is necessary and nothing more. Your struggles, your plans, your insecurities, your relationships, these are not public property, because not everyone who listens to your story is rooting for your growth. Some people are simply collecting information, and information in the wrong hands becomes distortion. So be selective. Speak less about what is fragile in your life. Not because you are hiding, but because you are protecting what matters. Silence is not emptiness. Sometimes it is strength. The fourth thing you should never give people is your self-worth for validation. This one is dangerous because it feels good in the moment. A compliment, a message, attention, approval, recognition, and suddenly, your mood depends on it. But Marcus Aurelius would remind you of something powerful. If you need approval to feel valuable, you are already in chains. Stoicism teaches that your worth is not assigned by others, it is recognized by your actions, your discipline, and your character. The world will always be inconsistent. One day people praise you, the next day they ignore you. If your identity rises and falls based on that, you will never find stability. Never give people the authority to define your value, because the moment you do, you stop standing on solid ground and start floating in the opinions of others. And opinions change faster than seasons. The fifth thing you should never give people, even if they ask, is your peace for temporary connection. This might be the most important one. Not every relationship deserves access to your calm mind. Not every conversation deserves your energy. Not every person deserves your emotional investment. Some people enter your life and bring chaos disguised as excitement, and if you're not careful, you confuse intensity with connection. Marcus Aurelius lived in a world of constant pressure, politics, betrayal, and responsibility. Yet his greatest power was internal stillness. He didn't allow the world to enter his mind without permission, and neither should you. If something consistently disturbs your peace, distance from it is not weakness, it is wisdom. Because peace is not something you find, it is something you protect. And if you keep giving it away just to keep people close, you will eventually lose yourself in the process. Now here is the deeper layer of everything we just discussed. All 5 things: your emotional control, your boundaries, your private life, your self-worth, and your peace are not things to be given freely. They are things to be guarded consciously, not because life is about building walls, but because life is about building awareness. The Stoic mindset is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about becoming intentional. It is about realizing that access to you is earned, not assumed. And when you start living like this, something strange happens. People may initially think you are different, even distant, but over time, they begin to respect you more, because people respect what is not easily controlled, and more importantly, you begin to respect yourself in a way you never did before. You stop reacting. You stop over-explaining. You stop chasing approval. You stop leaking energy into the wrong places. And slowly, your life becomes calmer. Not because the world changed, but because you stopped giving it unnecessary access to you. Marcus Aurelius didn't live an easy life. He lived a demanding one. But his mind remained free because he understood a simple truth. Not everything that asks for your attention deserves it. Not everything that demands your energy deserves it. And not everything that comes close deserves to stay. So as you move forward from this video, don't just listen to these ideas, practice them. Start small, say no when you mean no. Stay silent when silence protects your peace. Don't overshare to feel seen. Don't depend on others to feel worthy. And never let someone else control your inner world. Because once you master this, you don't just change how others treat you, you change how you exist in the world. And that changes everything. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.